That night, the sky above the Heavenly Wind clan was suddenly torn apart by violent surges of spiritual energy. Three figures stood facing each other in midair, their terrifying auras making the entire clan tremble. The mere shockwaves from their confrontation were enough to crack the stone walls of the courtyard and shatter roof tiles. Clan leader Zhao Xiong stared coldly at the young man standing opposite him. That young man was no stranger. He was Zhao Xiong's own son, Zhao Ling. You brought outsiders into the clan. What exactly are you trying to do? Zhao Xiong's voice dropped heavy with suppressed fury. Zhao Ling chuckled softly, a smile so cold it sent chills down everyone's spine. Slowly he pulled out a dark crimson token from his robes. The moment it appeared, a terrifying aura of blood energy spread across the courtyard. I have joined the Blood Hall. Do you still dare lay a hand on me? In that instant, the entire Heavenly Wind clan fell into a deathly silence. Right behind Zhao Ling, two figures in black robes stepped out of the shadows. Their eyes were as cold as those of predators, and their overwhelming aura forced several elders to take a few steps back. One of them let out a faint laugh. We came here for only one thing. His gaze shifted directly toward the treasury of the Heavenly Wind clan. Hand over the 9-grade divine stele, or today this clan will cease to exist. After Zhao Ling's cold declaration, the atmosphere in the main courtyard of the Heavenly Wind clan became suffocatingly heavy. The elders exchanged frightened glances because the name Blood Hall was far more than an ordinary demonic sect. It was a power that even the entire eastern region feared. Zhao Xiong clenched his fists, his eyes filled with pain, as he looked at his son. He had never imagined that the heir he once placed all his hopes on would now stand before him as a traitor. All for a single treasure, and you would betray your own clan, he asked in a low voice. Zhao Ling curled his lips slightly. It's not betrayal. It's choosing the stronger path. He pointed toward the largest structure deep within the rear courtyard. In the clan's treasury lies the 9-grade divine stele, a treasure that appeared on the ancient battlefield of Bone Grave Valley. That thing was never meant to belong to the Heavenly Wind clan. The two Blood Hall experts behind him slowly stepped forward. The pressure from them spread like a rising tide, forcing many people to step back. One of them spoke coldly. We have no interest in your clan. Simply open the treasury's seal and hand over the 9-grade divine stele, and everything will end here. Zhao Xiong looked around the courtyard, which was trembling under that terrifying pressure. If he refused, the entire Heavenly Wind clan might be wiped out tonight. But if he agreed, then the one who destroyed the clan would be his own son. After several seconds of heavy silence, Zhao Xiong finally made his decision. His gaze darkened, filled with both anger and helplessness. If he continued to resist, the entire Heavenly Wind clan could be wiped out tonight. But opening the treasury meant handing over the treasure the clan had protected for generations. Fine. I will open the seal, he said slowly. Zhao Ling immediately revealed a satisfied smile, while the two Blood Hall experts exchanged pleased glances. The group quickly moved toward the rear courtyard, where the treasury of the Heavenly Wind clan was guarded more strictly than any other place. Along the way, no one spoke another word. Only the sound of footsteps echoed through the long corridor, creating a suffocating sense of pressure. When they arrived before the gigantic stone door of the treasury, Zhao Xiong slowly circulated his spiritual energy and began unlocking the ancient seals one by one. The glowing runes dimmed in succession, and the heavy door started to tremble. The moment the treasury door finally opened, a strange surge of spiritual energy suddenly rushed outward. Everyone froze. Because standing in the middle of the now completely empty room, where not a single treasure remained, was a strange young man. He casually brushed the dust off his hands and looked at the crowd at the entrance with calm indifference. Then he smiled faintly. You all came at the perfect time. I just finished cleaning out this treasury. The entire courtyard fell into silence. No one understood what was happening. Zhao Ling was the first to react. He rushed into the treasury, his eyes sweeping across the vast chamber. But the more he looked, the paler his face became. The stone shelves that had once been filled with spirit stones and magical artifacts were now covered only in dust and empty marks. Where are the treasures? He roared. The young man standing in the middle of the room shrugged lightly, his voice unbelievably calm. I saw that you stored everything in such a messy way, so I kindly cleaned it all up for you. The moment those words fell, the two Blood Hall experts behind Zhao Ling immediately changed expressions. Their eyes turned icy cold. You dare steal in front of the Blood Hall? You must have a death wish. In an instant, two violent surges of blood energy erupted. Dark crimson spiritual power, thick as blood, flooded the entire treasury. The two experts attacked at the same time, massive blood-red palm strikes descending from above toward the young man. But the young man didn't move. In the next moment, streaks of blue lightning suddenly appeared around his body. Thunder roared as spiritual power burst forth like a raging storm. The young man stepped forward. If you want to fight, hurry up. The lightning in his hand transformed into a massive pillar of light, tearing straight through the blood aura. With a single strike, the two Blood Hall experts were blasted backward, blood spraying through the air. The entire Heavenly Wind clan was stunned into silence, because they had just witnessed something unimaginable. Two Bloodhall experts, defeated by an unknown young man in a single move. After the earth-shattering lightning strike, the entire treasury was engulfed in smoke and the acrid smell of burned spiritual energy. The two Bloodhall experts had been blasted outside their bodies, covered in blood, their breathing chaotic and unstable. The members of the Heavenly Wind clan stood frozen in shock. No one could believe that an unknown young man could overwhelm Bloodhall experts so easily. Even Zhao Ling had gone pale. The confidence he displayed earlier had completely vanished. One of the Bloodhall warriors struggled to push himself up, glaring at the young man with venomous hatred. Do you even know what you've just done?" he rasped. "The Bloodhall will never let you go." The young man merely looked at him calmly, seemingly unconcerned by the threat. At that moment, the injured expert suddenly burst into a mad laugh. "No matter how strong you are, it's useless. The Bloodhall already possesses the Earth Origin Divine Stone, a treasure capable of altering the very spiritual veins of heaven and earth. Once our Hallmaster makes a move, you'll be nothing more than an ant." The moment those words were spoken, the young man's expression changed slightly. For the first time since he appeared, he showed genuine interest. "The Earth Origin Divine Stone." He repeated the words slowly, as if pondering something. Then suddenly the young man smiled faintly. "In that case, I'll pay the Bloodhall a visit." Those simple words sent a chill down everyone's spine. Because they all understood one thing. The Bloodhall was not a place just anyone could walk into, let alone steal a treasure from. Once the decision was made, the young man did not hesitate. After leaving the Heavenly Wind clan, he forced Zhao Ling to lead the way to the location of the Bloodhall's main headquarters. With no other choice, Zhao Ling reluctantly guided him toward the Bonegrave Valley, an ancient land famous for its countless battlefields and hidden realms. Throughout the journey, Zhao Ling trembled constantly. He understood better than anyone how terrifying the Bloodhall truly was. Not only was it filled with powerful experts, but it was also protected by an extremely formidable mountain-guarding grand formation. At last the two of them arrived at the boundary of the Bloodhall. From a distance, massive structures could be seen looming within a crimson haze of spiritual energy, like a sleeping monster hidden deep within the mountains. A desperate thought suddenly flashed through Zhao Ling's mind. The moment the young man paused to observe the area, Zhao Ling immediately turned and ran, shouting at the top of his lungs. "Someone has infiltrated the Bloodhall, quick!" His cry for help was cut off before it could finish. His body suddenly froze in midair. An invisible force from the grand formation erupted. In the blink of an eye, the flesh and blood on Zhao Ling's body were completely drained away, leaving only a dry skeleton that fell to the ground. The young man standing behind him watched the scene, his expression turning serious for the first time. Slowly, he lifted his gaze toward the crimson sky ahead. The mountain-guarding grand formation had been activated, which meant the Bloodhall already knew someone had intruded. The moment the mountain-guarding grand formation was activated, the space around Bonegrave Valley immediately changed. Streams of dark crimson spiritual energy surged up from the ground, spreading across the sky like blood. The air became so heavy that an ordinary person would struggle to breathe. The young man remained standing calmly before the formation, his eyes quietly observing it. Zhao Ling's death did not seem to affect him in the slightest. Just then, a cold voice echoed from above. "So you dared to trigger the Bloodhall's mountain-guarding formation. It seems you truly wish to die." A figure in blood-colored robes slowly appeared in the sky. The spiritual energy around him churned like an ocean of blood, his aura so powerful that even the surrounding space trembled. The young man looked up and frowned slightly. The man in the sky froze for a moment as well, then his pupils suddenly contracted. "You?" The young man smiled faintly. "It's been a while, Cao Yan." The man was a powerful Bloodhall expert who had once crossed paths with him in an ancient ruin. But this time Cao Yan's aura was far stronger than before. He let out a cold laugh. "I wondered who it might be. Turns out it's you coming here to seek death." Spiritual power exploded around him, and in an instant, the sky transformed into a vast sea of blood. Yet the young man only said calmly, "I didn't come here to fight. I came to take the Earth Origin Divine Stone." Those words caused Cao Yan's expression to change immediately. The young man's words seemed to freeze the entire space. Cao Yan stared at him for a few seconds before bursting into loud laughter. His voice echoed across the blood-red sky, filled with obvious mockery. "You broke into the Bloodhall just to steal the Earth Origin Divine Stone. Do you have any idea how many powerful experts are here?" The spiritual energy around him surged violently, and the sea of blood in the sky roared like massive waves. Yet the young man remained standing still. No fear, no hesitation. His calm gaze was fixed only on the enormous hall deep within the valley. "I know. That's exactly why I came here myself." As soon as he finished speaking, streaks of azure lightning began spreading around his body. Thunder roared across the sky as if heaven and earth themselves were responding to his call. In an instant, the young man's aura erupted violently. Lightning and blood energy collided, causing the sky to tremble. At that moment, Cao Yan finally realized something terrifying. The person standing before him was not someone seeking death, but someone capable of challenging the entire blood hall. The young man took a slow step forward, lightning illuminating the entire valley. "Take me to your hall, master. Or, I'll carve my own path." The great battle with the blood hall had officially begun. If you want to know just how powerful this young man truly is, and what will happen when he really storms into the blood hall's main hall, comment 1, and I'll write the next part of the story.